Spring is here, and if you're in the market for a home, you're going to want to listen up. RE/MAX of Southeastern Michigan recently put together a list of cities that are well suited for first-time home buyers. And joining me this morning is Jeanette Snyder, Vice President of RE/MAX of Southeastern Michigan. Jeanette, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So, is it still possible for a first-time home buyer to buy a house without breaking the bank? Everyone talks about how hot the market is.
Well, the market is hot, but yes, it is possible for first-time home buyers to find something we have homes at various price points across town.
Now, what are some of the places where people are finding good deals and it's a good entry place for first-time home buyers?
Well, as I said, we kind of have things on both ends of the market. We've got St. Clair Shores on the east side, a Westland on the west side, and in the middle we've got that Ferndale, Royal Oak, Clawson.
Now, lots of people hear Ferndale and they go, I can't, or I'm Ferndale or Royal Oak, and they go, I can't afford Royal Oak, it's too expensive, it's too hot, everyone wants to be there. So where is the market where a hot place like Royal Oak still has room for first-time home buyers?
Well, Royal Oak, is probably at the upper end of that price range. But if you go like to a Clawson or a Ferndale, they still have that walkability. They're getting that kind of nightlife and walkability to downtown restaurants and stuff like that. The price point hasn't quite gone there yet. Hazel Park would be another area. If you're trying to stay under 100,000, Hazel Park would be an area you can go.
So what is it about these communities? You have Westland, St. Clair Shores, Clawson, Livonia, and Royal Oak on your list. What is it about these communities that set them apart and make them so attractive?
Well, ironically, one of the things that was listed repeatedly was proximity to expressways. So they have the ability to have easy access to expressways for commute times, to get downtown, wherever it might be. So that was one thing. With St. Clair Shores, the thing that was different is kind of the access to water. That was unique to them, and the tax base. Westland, they had every conceivable shopping and restaurant brand you could find there. So those are some of the things that you see.
And that covers a nice range both geographically and in terms of amenities. Now, if you are a first-time home buyer and you're going, okay, I'm ready to jump into this, what are some of the first steps that a first-time home buyer needs to take?
Get pre-approved, because this market has a ton of buyers. You're probably going to have competition. You want to make sure you understand what you can afford financially to give you peace of mind when you do have to act quickly, that you know exactly what you can afford. Another thing I suggest is, if you've got your eye on some communities or neighborhoods, do a morning commute to and from, do an afternoon commute to and from. Be really comfortable, because you're probably going to have to make quick decisions, and you want to go in knowing you feel comfortable with this.
Right, so you're saying to make that commute just in terms of, are you saying to do that to see what's on the market?
To see what your commute is going to be to and from work, because if you're moving to a different community from where you live now, you might think the commute is 20 minutes. The reality is it might be 40, 45. Can you do that every day?
Right. And another thing that I've heard realtors say is that you should visit your target community, not just in the morning or on the way home from work, but visit it at night. Just see what the community is like at different times of the day and night, to see what the vibe is like.
Absolutely. Is it a quieter neighborhood? And that's good or bad, but is it something that's more quiet? Is it more with kids and they're outside playing and you've got that noise? Understand that. And if you're out walking the neighborhoods like that, you get to meet some neighbors. You can tell them you're thinking about moving in. What do they think about the neighborhood? What do they like about it? What would they change?
And they actually may be able to tell you, oh, so-and-so is thinking about selling.
It's surprising what the neighbors will give up if you just ask a couple of questions.
Absolutely. Jeanette Snyder, Vice President of RE/MAX of Southeastern Michigan, thank you so much for joining us.
My
and thank
pleasure.
you for the great insight. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.